Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Playing the role of Dan Kuntz this morning, I'm Arch Ecker, and today is August 3rd if you check your calendar closely. But if you look at it even a little more closely, you'll see that it's Wednesday. And you know what that means? It's Winning Wednesday. Our prize today, check this out, Grant County Fair. They are having the Ultimate Rock Tribute. The Ultimate Classic Rock Tribute with tributes to Journey, Heart, Foreigner on the Brian Miller stage at the Grant County Fair. You can see it's August 17th. Shows at 6 p.m. I don't have just 2 passes. I've got 2 VIP passes, which means that that's a big deal for whoever's going to take it home. How do you win? You send us an email, winner@ncwlife.com. You can enter once per email address. Remember, employees of local telecommunications, solely on broadcasting, and their immediate families are not eligible to participate. But it is Winning Wednesday, and we wish you the best of luck. Dan Kuntz, not here this morning, but you know what? Dan was able to fulfill a childhood dream last night. I couldn't be happier for him. Ever since he was a kid, he wanted to be able to run the bases at Yankee Stadium. He did that last night. The downside is he was being chased the whole time, and it was in the 4th inning. So we're trying to raise bail money for him from the Bronx Zoo, but I'm sure he'll be back in action in no time flat. So look forward to that. I know you're looking at the TV going, that ain't no Dan Kuntz. No, you're right. Lucky me. Let's take a look at some of these cameras around town to see what's cooking out there in the world. We'll start off with our overlook from Wenatchee Heights. And you can see, look how gorgeous it is out there this morning. Looks like the heat wave is kind of broken a little bit. And you can just tell by looking at that it's nice and comfortable and gorgeous out there. As we move on, let's take a look. And that's Badger Mountain. And you can see once again, just a gorgeous, gorgeous Wednesday morning. Great day to win some tickets if you ask me. Moving on, let's head north just a little bit, and as we overlook Lake Chelan there, that is the view from McNeil Canyon. And obviously another beautiful day in Chelan. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of great places you can spend time in this world. In Lake Chelan, Manson, that area, boy, I'll tell you what, that's top of the heap. And now let's move one more time. We've got our camera overlooking Kashmir, and you can see that we don't have the lockdown on beautiful sunrises. Kashmir is enjoying one this morning as well. Speaking of weather, boy, you know what? The buzzword around town lately has been hot enough for you. You get tired of hearing that when people ask you that, is it hot enough for you? You just want to say, no, it's not. I wish it was another 10 degrees hotter, you dummy. At any rate, so here's what we're kind of looking at. Hot and windy for today. Not as hot, but it'll still be warm. And there are critical fire weather conditions. There's going to be some wind. We had some wind yesterday as well. Gusts will reach up to 35 miles an hour. That's pretty severe. And that is definitely something you want to be cognizant of when you're thinking about any kind of fire or anything that could cause a fire. Tomorrow, though, and Friday, it's going to start cooling off a little more significantly. A little bit breezy as the wind continues, but there's just a real slight chance of mountain showers, and it means that high pressure zone is kind of finally maybe loosening its grip on us just a little bit for a few days. A big fire weather condition day for tomorrow, as well as the red flag warning remains in effect. You know what? There's so many different ways that people don't think about when you talk about fire safety. Obviously, cigarettes, people know that. You don't throw lit cigarettes out the window. You don't start campfires unless you're in a perfectly safe situation where you know you can control the blaze. Fireworks, you got to be real careful about where you set those off. But some of the things that people don't think about is mowers. They're thinking, well, why can't I go out and just mow my grass? Hey, you know what? You never know. You hit a rock, you get a spark, boom, the thing gets out of control in no time. Dragging your tow chains, that's just something you just need to be careful of. So that's from the National Weather Service in Spokane with those reminders. So always good to keep those top of mind. So again, high temperatures today. We're looking at about 93 degrees, not too shabby. We got up to 92 yesterday and dropped down to about 67. By the way, the high for this date was 106 back in 2009, and there were some gusty winds back then as well. Tomorrow, 80 degrees, as you can see, as it takes a nice dip with an overnight low of 54. You might actually have to put the blanket back on the bed. But then as we head towards the weekend, We're going to see the temperatures slowly start to climb once again. 85 on Friday, 94 by the time we get to Saturday, and then looks like triple digits coming our way once again Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday in the next week. So be very careful with that as you look forward. So coming up in news, we've got election tallies. Big day yesterday. I voted right here. Hopefully you did as well. We've got election tallies to look at, a wildfire up in Ephrata, and we've also got some news on rumors coming out of Watershed. It's really interesting. Watershed's always a huge event, and people love talking about it. But there's a lot of rumors that are going around about things that have been happening at Watershed. Turns out, well, maybe a bunch of those are nothing but rumors. So we'll be back with a look at news and that and more. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
Good morning once again. It is 7 minutes past the hour, and playing the role of Dan Kuntz this morning, I'm Arch Ecker, filling in for the next couple of days. It's time to take a look at news, and there's no bigger news in the area than the election results, which started being tabulated last night. And let's take a look at what we've got. The voters on Tuesday approved the merger of Chelan County Fire District 1 and Douglas County Fire District 2. The merger was passing with 6,300 votes in favor, 4,289 opposed in the first round of two county election results. Chelan County voters strongly supported Proposition 1, with 4,346 voting in favor and 2,378 opposed. That's 64.36% yes and 35.37% no. Douglas County voters were giving their approval to the merger by a razor-thin margin. The first results in that county had 1,957 voting yes and 1,911 voting no. Remember, every vote counts. 50.59% in favor and 49.41% opposed. In the three-way race for Chelan County Clerk, Sandra Archiega and Marty Young appear to be the candidates who will advance to the November general election. Archiega received 5,882 votes to Young's 3,574, 49.1% to 29.83%. Brandy Buck received 2,486 votes, finishing third in the first round of counting. The November race for Chelan County Commissioner District 2 will feature independent Ann Hesberg and Republican Sean Smith. Hesberg has received 2,506 votes, while Smith has garnered 2,178, or 47.7% of the vote for Hesberg and 41.45% for Smith. Zachary Miller was also on the ballot and received 563 votes, despite the fact that he announced he was dropping out of the race earlier this year. Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett will face Deputy Mike Morrison in the general election. Though both were already guaranteed to advance to the November ballot, the primary results showed Morrison has some ground to make up. Burnett received 6,408 votes, Morrison with 5,400. In the 8th congressional, nothing conditional about that, it's the congressional district race, incumbent Democratic Representative Kim Schreier will advance to the November general election, but the opponent's show face is still very much up in the air after Tuesday's election count. Republican candidates Reagan Dunn and Matt Larkin are separated by fewer than 100 votes. Schreier received the most votes with 56,000 49.4% of the total vote after the first ballot counts. Larkin received 18,043 votes to Dunn's 17,073. Jesse Jensen, who ran against Schreier in 2020, was in fourth place with 14,283 votes. In the 4th Congressional District, incumbent Republican Representative Dan Newhouse was the leading vote getter after Tuesday's count, followed by Democrat Doug White. Newhouse received 20,500 plus votes to 19,500 plus votes for White. Just over 3,000 votes behind White was Republican Lauren Culp, who ran unsuccessfully for governor in 2020. Culp was endorsed by former President Trump after Newhouse voted in favor of his impeachment following the January 6th Capitol riot. Incumbent Democratic Senator Patty Murray was the biggest vote getter in her race for re-election and will face Republican Tiffany Smiley in the November general election. Murray received 54% of the primary election votes to 31.96 for Smiley, who easily outdistanced the other 16 candidates on the ballot. Firefighters battled challenging terrain and shifting winds early on Tuesday morning to get control of a wildfire south of Ephrata that burned about 100 to 200 acres. The fire in sagebrush near highways 17 and 282 was reported just after 2 a.m., and Grant County Fire Districts 13, 5, and Ephrata firefighters responded. Fire District 13 reported that their initial efforts were hindered by winds, a steep hill, and rocks, some the size of vehicles. The fire district said it took about 2.5 hours to contain the fire and no structures were damaged. It was the second major wildfire in Grant County in a 24-hour period. A fire in the Lind Coulee area east of Potholes Reservoir burned about 60 acres after being reported at 3:45 on Monday. The cause of both fires remains under investigation. Well, calls to Wenatchee police have been on the rise this year and especially this summer. Wenatchee Police Captain Edgar Reinfeld appeared on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Dan Kuntz to talk about some of the reasons for that.
Our criminal activity is up. We have more crime right now for reasons that can be hard to define at times, except as we are rolling out of our COVID restriction world and we're coming forward, we're seeing more activity and again, more people talking to us. People will have spent the last 5 to 7 days at over 100 degrees and they will be at their wits' end. And then as a bonus, the attempt to deal with the heat often involves consumption of alcohol or other substances. And then people's tempers and their fuses get even shorter. And then we have interactions that lead to contact and requests for services from us. The one thing we've noted, and we've been watching this over the course of the year, we can look at every year, we average somewhere between 20 and 21,000 calls for service most years. We're forecasting somewhere more like 24,000 calls for service this year. And the number of calls for service does not necessarily indicate a rise in crime. That's something we have to look at separately and look at the actual activity. But we can take into account, you noted parking complaints. Obviously, our issues with homeless people parking and having their vehicles and living out of their vehicles and the legal complexities that go with that and our limited ability to do anything with those vehicles for the most part can drive a lot of calls for service for a relatively concentrated spot. So we can easily say, well, we had 24,000 calls for service or 25 or whatever it sorts out to be this year, and that's a lot more last year, so crime must be worse. It's not necessarily the case. I do know, however, looking at statistics in the last month, from CompStat is a system we pay for, we can see assaults are up, malicious mischief are up, thefts are up. But a lot of it too can come down to, are people reporting thefts they weren't reporting before? Are people reporting assaults they weren't reporting before? So there's these psychological factors, and it would be interesting to survey every caller for the last 10 years and find out what it is. But we need a doctoral candidate from a university who wants to do some work, because we certainly don't have the bandwidth to go and do that sort of thing.
The special law enforcement team that investigates local police shootings and other internal matters will no longer include Okanagan County as a voting member. The North Central Washington Special Investigations Unit includes police agencies from the Wenatchee Valley to the northern border with Canada. It's governed by an interlocal agreement among cities and counties, and on Tuesday, Chelan County Commissioners agreed to remove Okanagan County from that contract. Chelan County Undersheriff Jason Matthews says the SIU will still provide investigative services to Okanagan County if needed.
So the team now is just Chelan County, Wenatchee Police Department, East Wenatchee, Douglas County, and the State Patrol. That's the makeup of the voting group. Our team will service Central Washington all the way to the north border. I talked to Sheriff Hawley about a month ago. He was okay with that. We'll still provide them the same services. They're just not a voting member of our NCW SIU team.
Well, Watershed has sprung a load of rumors once again, and the Grant County Sheriff's Office took time to address what they said were some of the most popular rumors about the Watershed Music Festival that were spread over social media over the weekend. Deputy Kyle Foreman said, contrary to rumors, nobody died, for one. Second, nobody lost an ear. Who came up with that one? And finally, there was not anyone giving out antifreeze for others to drink. But I'll tell you what, you talk about some oddball rumors, Watershed trying to set some records. I wonder if they're going to try to do that, try to top it next year. It might become a thing, you never know. The 3-day festival in the scorching heat over at the Gorge Amphitheater concluded on Sunday. So Watershed in the books. And if you heard rumors about what was going on out there, take them with a grain of salt. Likely just rumors. So, after the break, you know what? Before we do that, for the latest in these stories and more, you want to tune in tonight at 5, 6, and 10 with Grant Olson with NCW Life News. Here's Grant with a preview.
Good morning, Arch. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, warm weather and some breezy weather expected again today, then cooler into the end of the week before we get hot again this weekend. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has the latest on the Mariners-Yankees series, results of last night's Apple Sox game, and a look at Seahawks training camp. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Arch?
Thank you, Grant. And earlier when I opened the show, I talked about Dan running the bases at Yankee Stadium last night, being chased by law enforcement and during the fourth inning. I don't think I'll have any footage of that during Eric's clips because, well, to be quite honest with you, I made that whole story up. It didn't happen. I think he's sleeping in the Waldorf Astoria, though. Not really sure. At any rate, those sports stories and more. We've also got obscure holidays, today in history, celebrity birthdays, that and more coming your way here very shortly. And we have contact info, I believe, coming up down below. You can always get a hold of us at ncwlife.com. That's our main website, of course. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/ncwlife. And we'd love to hear from you. You can see the phone number on there, 888. That would be 6295, which is NCWL, for people that still remember how to spell things on their phone. That's kind of a throwback for a lot of people. I think kids today are like, huh? They don't have to text. They don't know the pain of having to text. When they want to C, they have to push 2, 3 times to get a letter C. They just don't know how that works. But at any rate, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with Eric Granstrom in sports. That's on the way next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Arch Ecker on the NCW Life channel.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chair on the other side. You can use this time warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Green Motion e-bikes have rolled out the new line of custom e-bikes. They have 3-way adjustable folding e-bikes and full-size mountain e-bikes. Pedal assist and a throttle makes them a perfect fit for any rider. Green Motion e-bikes, located in the Mills Brothers building.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCW Life. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
It is, let's see, let's get real accurate. How about 20 minutes past the hour here on your Wednesday morning? Remember, it is a winning Wednesday. We'll be talking more about that a little bit later on. Once again, chance for you to win some VIP passes to the Classic Rock Show out at the Grant County Fair. Time now to take a look at sports, and we'll start off in the Bronx where the Seattle Mariners headed out there to face the Yankees. They combined for 6 home runs, and the Mariners came out on top by a score of 8-6. You got Eugenio Suarez beginning the offensive onslaught for the Mariners with a 3-run dinger in the first. Sam Haggerty provided a pinch hit go-ahead homer in the 7th, and that helped the Mariners even the series with the Yankees at a game apiece. Of course, they'll play again.
Suarez going again, 16 home runs on the year. He can carry this ball club for a week, maybe 2.
That is tagged, and the Mariners have a 2-0 lead. Gino gave that a big-time ride. Hey, Eugenio Suarez, home run number 17, RBIs 53-54. Mariners an early 2-0 lead. The home run playing a large part in the game already. As a switch hitter, you would think this would be a good ballpark for him, particularly when he's batting left-handed.
You bet.
As Cal rides one. Deep center field, big-time carry. Hicks looking up, it's gone! Cal Raleigh with a home run, and the Mariners' second long ball tonight, a 3-0 lead here at Yankee Stadium. 0-1. Towering fly ball.
Some carry.
Big-time carry on the track. Hicks is there. That'll pick up a run as Frazier will cruise home. So an RBI for Carlos Santana on the sac fly. And the Mariners have a 4-0 lead. Ground it and pass. Suarez and down the left field line. That'll go into the corner. Rizzo's at third. They're waving him home. Here he comes. There'll be no throw. It's an RBI double for Donaldson. And the Yankees are on the board. It's 4-1 Seattle. Trevino hits one deep to left field. Winker back on the track at the wall. He's done it again. Trevino with a 2-run home run. And the Yankees are now down by 1. Line drive, left field. That ball is one hop off the fence. Frazier scores. Coming around third, Gino. Here's a throw to the plate offline. Digging for 3, Santana. He's meat, but 2-run score. 2-run score, and the Mariners have a 6-3 lead. Anthony Rizzo leads off, and he hits one deep to right center. Going back, Frazier on the track at the wall. Anthony Rizzo. He has homered in 4 straight games. A solo shot. 6-4 Seattle. That one's driven into right center field off the bat of Donaldson. Going back is Kelman looking up. See ya! The Yanks have tied it on a 2-run home run for Donaldson. Good to see him back able to swing the bat here. There's a drive deep to left. Look at this. Sam Haggerty, a pinch hit home run. And the Mariners have a 7-6 lead here in the 7th at Yankee Stadium. Way to go, Hags. Big spot in this ball game. Crash the 3-2. He got him looking. Strike 3 called, inning over. Runner stranded at third. Mariners lead 7-6 as we go to the 9th. Oh, man, did he need that.
Big time, had to land the breaking ball and was able to do it. He just freezes him right there. Tremendous pitch. Frazier likes to hit the fastball. Abreu has a good one. He's been 99 to 100.
Little looper. Can't get it. Sam's going to score. Adam Frazier rings the bell. RBI for Adam, and the Mariners lead is now 8-6 here, top 9 in New York. What a night. Back-to-back plate appearances with base hits. He's been on base 4 consecutive times. Picks up an RBI, is 27th, and the Mariners lead by 2. Torres. He got him! Swing and a miss, and the ball game's over. The Mariners win it 8-6 to even this series at a game apiece.
Well, there's an age-old saying that chicks dig the long ball, and if they were at the house that Ruth built last night, they were in for a treat. 6 home runs. Penn Murphy ended up getting the victory. The 2 teams will play the rubber match today of the 3-game set at 10:05. And the newly acquired Luis Castillo will be making his first start in a Mariners uniform, so a lot to look forward to in that one. In other American League West action, Jorge Mateo's 3-run homer highlighted a 5-run third for Baltimore as the Orioles beat Texas 8-2. Cutter Crawford and 3 relievers combined to hold Houston to 1 run as the Red Sox picked up a 2-1 win in that one. David Fletcher homered for the Angels as Los Angeles knocked off Oakland 3-1. Currently, Seattle holds the second spot in the American League wildcard chase as Toronto topped Tampa Bay 3-1. Cleveland remains a game back of the Rays after a 6-3 loss to Arizona. Baltimore's win puts them a game and a half back. The White Sox are 2 games out after a 9-2 win over Kansas City. Well, the Apple Sox lost a marathon last night down in Yakima against the Pippins, a 12-inning affair. Gabe Villaflor walked it off in the bottom of the 12th with an RBI single to score Jackson Sorensen for the win. As we get more from the voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, Wenatchee had an early lead in this one.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox fell to the Yakima Valley Pippins 11-10 in 12 innings on Tuesday night at Yakima County Stadium. It was an exciting start to the weekend series, the final week of the West Coast League's regular season, but the Apple Sox fell despite holding a 4-run lead at one point and then a 5-run lead after 6.5 innings in this one. As Wenatchee got off to a good start in this one, Grant Sherritt drove in 3 runs, and Brooks Rasmussen drove in a pair, while Cole Kramer also played at 3, but it was not enough for the Apple Sox. Joichiro Oyama was a home run away from hitting for the cycle, and now Wenatchee was able to remain in first place in the North Division in the second half thanks to the Edmonton Riverhawks losing on Tuesday night to the Port Angeles Lefties. Wenatchee holds the tiebreaker, but will look to bounce back on Wednesday night at 6:35 p.m. against the Pippins. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Well, as Joel mentioned there, Wenatchee remains tied atop the North Division second half standings after Edmonton lost the game last night. Bellingham also lost to remain a game back. The team the Sox really need to keep an eye on, though, is Victoria. They're just half a game out of first place. Taking a look at the Les Schwab West Coast League scoreboard, Port Angeles helped the Apple Sox cause with a 10-5 win over Edmonton. Adam Paganelli and Aaron Greenfield each had 3 hits for the lefties. Victoria took advantage of 4 walks, a hit batsman, and 3 wild pitches, scoring 6 runs in the 8th inning as they beat Bellingham 8-6. Nick Wilson and 3 relievers combined on a 6-hit shutout of Ridgefield as Walla Walla came out on top 1-0 in that squeaker. Briley Knight was 5 for 6 with a run and 2 RBI to lead Corvallis to a 12-0 win over Bend. Caden Siegel and 2 relievers combined on the 2-hit shutout for the Knights. Felix Chenier Rondeau hit 2 home runs while Ty Sifferman hit another as Kamloops blasted Kelowna 17-8. It was Tim Holick's 3-run home run, which highlighted a 6-run 4th inning for Nanaimo as they posted a 10-4 win over Springfield. Nick Hovland's 2-run triple capped a 3-1 8th inning for Cowlitz as the Black Bears beat Portland 9-6. Well, the Seattle Seahawks donned the pads for the first time in training camp yesterday. A day of full contact means that Seattle is ever closer to its mock game on Saturday at Lumen Field and its first preseason game next Saturday in Pittsburgh. Making waves at camp in the offensive line is Jake Curhan. He reportedly got another day of reps with the first team in front of Stone Forsythe at right tackle. Now also turning heads are cornerbacks Artie Burns and Kobe Bryant. It's Burns who is consistently matched up with DK Metcalf and making one play after another. Bryant, a rookie, has been seen breaking up several pass plays.
I feel like camp is going great for me. I'm learning something new every day. The coaches are on me, pretty tough. But, that's what I expect, coming in as a rookie and, just have my head down and work and, just continuously getting better. To always compete, well, I always knew that, but, just flying to the ball, I always thought was getting to the ball faster, but, it's obviously more that I can do, and that's something that I take pride in myself, to pushing myself to become not only a better player, but a better teammate as well.
All right, well, that's the latest from what's going on out there with the Seahawks, and it's time to take a quick look at who is celebrating birthdays today. Tony Bennett, by the way, his real name is Anthony Dominic Benedetto. And Tony Bennett, 96 years old, 19 Grammy Awards, including a Lifetime Achievement Award presented in 2001, and 2 Emmy Awards as well. Martin Sheen, perhaps better known as Charlie Sheen's dad or Emilio Estevez's dad. His name is really Ramon Gerard Antonio Estevez. Of course, he was in Apocalypse Now. He played President Josiah Bartlett in The West Wing, 82 years old today. Martha Stewart, American businesswoman, publisher, and author, and BFF with Snoop Dogg. And she founded the Martha Stewart Living Omnimedia, 81 years old today. And one of my musical heroes, James Hetfield. I am a huge Metallica fan. He is 59 today. He was one of the co-founders, he along with Lars Ulrich. He's the lead vocalist and rhythm guitarist. He writes the majority of the songs, although they do kind of tend to collaborate. And then a guy that really doesn't need much introduction, but he is definitely Uriah's favorite player of all time. Not. Turning 45 years old today, Tom Brady. He's in hot water again, but we won't talk about the hot water part right now with the Dolphins. He is a 7-time Super Bowl champion, no matter how you slice it. 5-time Super Bowl MVP, 3 times NFL MVP, 15 times he's been to the Pro Bowl. Tom Brady's list of accomplishments is outstanding. He's the only quarterback with over 200 regular season wins, never had a losing season. He's won 18 division titles, and he's just 45, celebrating his birthday today. So that's a look at birthdays out there in the world today. And in just a minute, we'll take a break and we come back. We've got some more fun stuff on the way, including we'll hear from Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. He's got an opinion, and everyone's entitled to it, including you, which we bring to you free of charge. That's coming up next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey Wenatchee Valley, this is Ben Griffin. I'm here with my friend Eddie the Yeti. He wants to share some big news.
Arctic Refrigeration is now employee-owned and has a new name, Columbia Cooling and Refrigeration. I want you to remember this summer, when you're hot and sweaty, call the Eddie.
No, it's called the Yeti, Y-E-T-I, not called the Eddie.
Whatever. We are a factory-authorized Bryant dealer. Whatever it takes.
Give us a call at Columbia Cooling and Refrigeration at 509-662-5911.
1-2 pitch swung on and hit in the air. That's a base hit. Gonna score 1 and lead. Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is on the NCW Life channel. Join us for live play-by-play coverage as the Apple Sox take on the Walla Walla Sweets Friday, August 5th. Pre-game at 6:30, first pitch at 6:35. It's the Sweets and Apple Sox as we celebrate summer 1 inning at a time, live on your local TV station, the NCW Life channel.
McPhillips. This is the NCW Live concert calendar. Fridays, it's live music at Alta Cellars in downtown Manson from 4 to 7 p.m. Sunday, it's Succession Winery located between Chelan and Manson with live music from 2 to 5. Chelan Cellars and Sorrento's Restaurante present music on Mondays at 4 p.m. weekly. Check the individual websites for more information. That's the NCW Live concert calendar.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCW Life. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
Okay, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, I do relationship counseling. And one thing I always ask couples when they come into my office, I say this: do you like your partner? No, I don't ask if they love them. People would say they love someone even if they just tolerate them. Now, what I want to know is, do you like the person you're in a relationship with? Do you enjoy their company? Do you admire and respect them as an individual? Do you like talking and spending time with them? No, this is honestly sometimes an eye-opening question for folks. Sure, I love my wife, Rosie, but I like her too. She's nice. You'd like her. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Getting ready for the boating season is easy with the help of Bob File Boats and Motors. Now's the time of year to upgrade your boat from a new motor, a bow mount, installing a state-of-the-art GPS fish finder, or just fixing your trailer lights. Make your appointment today. With marine technology changing fast, the service department stays up to date with the newest developments and factory certifications. Spend more time on the water and less time at the shore. Get ready for summer fun now at Bob File Boats and Motors.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Let's Drop Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Let's Drop puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
Mondays are happy hour all day long at Bob's Burgers and Brew in East Wenatchee. Great deals on appetizers, martinis, specialty drinks, wine, well drinks, and draft beers. Bob's Burgers and Brew in East Wenatchee. Come on in. They look forward to serving you.
The NCW Life Channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCW Life Channel today.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Welcome to Click It RV. How can I help you?
We're looking to trade in our tent for a new RV.
Perfect. Let's take a look. Water heater? Nope. Does it have a queen bed? No. Does it have a bathroom? No. How about air conditioning? Nope. Well, you're in luck. We have the perfect solution for you. We'll give you $1,000 for it.
What?
What? That's right. At Click It RV in July, trade your tent in for an extra $1,000 towards your RV purchase. Come see us today.
And welcome back once again to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Art Checker filling in for Dan Kuntz this week. And my guests this morning, to my left is Albert Rookard, and to my far left is Mike Bills. They're a couple of guys who are very well known in the local music scene, and that's our topic today. We're going to talk about the local music scene, where you can catch live music, and we're also going to touch a little bit on youth exposure to music in terms of school programs and other programs as well. I'm actually going to start off to the far side with Mike Bills. And Mike, one thing that you and Albert have in common is you both play in a lot of different configurations. You do some solo stuff, you play in band configurations, you're all over the place. So tell me a little bit about, first off, let's start with what you do now, and then we'll dip back and talk about how you got started playing music.
Okay. Right now I play most frequently either solo, and I have kind of a weird setup where I play some percussion with my feet while I'm playing the guitar and singing. And then sometimes I do that with a bass player as well, and which then frees me up to do a lot more guitar work, which I enjoy doing. But then I also play with a wonderful group that's called the Skiffs, and they are a husband-wife group, and Kate plays a big stand-up bass. It's taller than she is, and she plays it really well, slaps it. They do kind of a rockabilly act. And then Derek, her husband, plays acoustic guitar and sings, and he can play the heck out of a guitar, as you know. Yes. And then I get to play keyboards, steel guitar, and lead guitar behind them. And so,
a man of many talents.
So. Oh, kind of morning, yeah.
So this is where we roll the clock back. What was the first instrument you learned to play, and how old were you?
When I was 18, for my 18th birthday, I asked my parents for a guitar, and they got me. They didn't know what to do, so they got me, which was actually good, a nylon string, classical acoustic guitar, and that was what I started on, and just started. I think they also got me the Roy Clark Big Note guitar book that had little sticker decals that you could put on the neck of your guitar and to learn the chords, and that's kind of how I got started.
So what was the first song you learned to play?
I think Blue Bayou was in the book. Maybe was one of the first. Most of the songs in the book I didn't know, so that was one of the only songs in the book that I knew like at the time.
Tell me about your musical evolution and how you morphed into learning other instruments as well. What was the impetus behind that?
Well, when I went to college, I was a psychology major, but because you had to take some elective credits and you had to take an art class, and I was allowed to take a jazz guitar improv. Well, it was a jazz improv class, and I was at a huge disadvantage because everyone else in the class were music majors and had been playing their instruments since they were probably in 5th grade, and then there's me. And it was really a struggle, but I learned a ton about music theory and about how chords and scales work together and a lot of those things. And so trial by fire.
When did you start playing and performing in front of people?
Around that same...
Aside from scholastically, but like going out to a place of business and performing.
Around that same time, I started playing in a punk band in Missoula, Montana, where I was going to college, and then yes, exactly. And then by the time I was towards the end of my undergrad and then grad degrees, I was playing every weekend in bar bands and making my rather than flipping burgers somewhere. That's what I was doing for a job. It worked pretty well for college because. You had to you worked all weekend and then the rest of the week was free to study. Yeah, so yeah.
Albert, let's talk about you. How did you get started playing a musical instrument?
Well, my story is not nearly as successful as Mike Bill's here.
Come on.
My first time touching a guitar was Sterling Middle School. We did a little segment in music class. The teacher was, great lady, Mrs. Deborah Lacey, and so we played guitar for all of a week, and that was my first time touching a guitar. And I thought, oh, that was interesting. About 3 years later, kind of decided I wanted to try to be in a rock band and got a guitar for my birthday, and lasted about a year and a half, maybe less than that. Played all of about 3 gigs, and the problem there is I just wasn't any good. So advance about 30-some years, I was approaching my 50th birthday, decided I want to be a musician, and really hunkered down, started playing a lot, and a lot being many nights, 6 to 8 hours. I'd be up till 2, 3 in the morning playing guitar, and it just caught me at that moment, and been doing it ever since, every day.
At some point, is it fair to say the fever just gripped you because, like Mike, now you'll play pretty much any opportunity you can. If somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, let's do something," and you'll check your calendar. Because I get this, I get it. I've lived this.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah. I enjoy it very much, and I try to keep it in the right balance. But I mean, hey, we're having a great time. We're making tens of dollars, and
literal tens.
So it's certainly not at this point something I'm in it for any of the money, but it's a game changer to have something like that you can work so hard at to try to get decent at, where people enjoy coming to watch. So it's been great.
So tell me, obviously, I know the band you're in because I happen to kind of tend to be in it with you, but in addition to No Promises, tell me about some of the other things you do.
Yeah, well, certainly I do want to, No Promises, which we have the best bass player in all of Washington right here with Archman, so we're pretty darn fortunate with that. And also a project I've been involved with about 3.5 years is Rookland Bridge. Me and a young female vocalist, Raquel Norland. She's kind of off to college now, but when she's home, we gather some gigs and play. We played last weekend. Just an amazing young lady. She's recorded in Nashville, recorded here, has several original songs, and so that's a project that's just dear to my heart, especially since she started. She was so young, and she still is, but I just took that as a pretty high responsibility on my part to make sure it's a good experience for her, and so far so good.
And Rookland Bridge, of course, is a play of your two names, your Rookard and her Norland. So Rookland Bridge, was that your idea or hers?
It was not my idea. I don't have that kind of creativity. So that was hers. And then she lived in Wenatchee. I was in East Wenatchee, separated by a bridge. So therefore she came up with Rookland Bridge.
Very creative.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And she's a very talented young lady. I've seen you guys perform, so
yeah, I agree.
No question. Mike, let's talk about Well, the music scene that you see in Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, and even the expanding area, there's a lot of places to play and a lot of opportunities to take in live music that sometimes people who aren't really plugged into it might not even be aware of.
You're absolutely right. There are a few, maybe within the last 10 years, I hardly ever played anywhere in Wenatchee. I'd always have to go to Chelan or Leavenworth or other areas to play. I mean, there would be once in a while, maybe once a month, a gig here in Wenatchee, but there really wasn't much. And in the last maybe a year before COVID, a year or two before COVID, that began to open up, and there have been more and more places open. And now with all the wineries and breweries, and people are so, coming out of COVID, people are so hungry to go out and just kind of resume a normal life and get to listen to music, and there's an appreciation here now in Wenatchee that I haven't seen before. I don't know about you, Al, but it just seems like it. Yeah.
And I played a lot of years in Montana, and as much as I had great experiences there and some tremendous crowds and really good energy sharing with crowds, what I've experienced here in Wenatchee and the surrounding area, Chelan, for example, Manson, it's another level. I mean, the level of appreciation that you get from the crowd and the interaction and them taking time to come up and find you and talk to you and tell you how much they appreciate what you do. It's remarkable, and it's a great testament to the people here.
Yes, definitely.
So we talked about off camera, we talked a little bit about a jam session, and that's how I found my way into a lot of different musical situations when I moved into new towns. Of course, starting in Butte, that was part of it. I moved to Topeka, Kansas. First thing I did was find a jam session. Then I got plugged into some bands. And jam sessions are happening here in Wenatchee, and you know about that firsthand.
Yes, I was asked to take over a local blues jam that happens every Monday evening here. I'm back in January or so. And so I'm really fortunate to be the leader of that, the host of it. We meet every the first and third Monday of each month at Badger Mountain Brewing, and then from 6 until 9. And then on the second and fourth Mondays of each month, we are at Riverside Pub, which is also in Columbia Valley Brewing. And so we're really fortunate to have both of those venues to host us. And it's a great opportunity for people who we have 3 harmonica players who come on a regular basis. We have a whole bunch of guitar players. We tend to play mostly blues because it's a fairly simple form of music that most people can jump into whether they know the song or not. But we often go into other styles of music as well. But it's a great opportunity for people if you're out there and you enjoy playing music, but you want to kind of have an opportunity to step out a little bit and play with some other musicians, you maybe get a chance to solo a little. It's a great opportunity for that. And if anyone comes, I've got a sign-up sheet. You sign up for a time slot, and then I make sure you get a chance to solo, even if it's just 2 or 3 notes, whatever you want to do.
So what are the basic rules of engagement for people that have never attended a jam night before? Bring your own instrument, bring your own amp. What do you have to do?
Yes, both of those. Although sometimes we can supply an amp, sometimes if someone comes and they don't have one, but definitely bring your own instrument. We mostly just tell people to listen, try to fit in with what's going on, and just come and have a good time. And we also love it when a lot of people love to come and just listen and just feel the vibe and get to listen to other musicians. And one of the funnest things, and I'm sure you've experienced this, is when you get together with a couple of people you've never played with before, and you may not even know the song that they're doing. It's some magical things can happen. Sometimes it's a train wreck, but that's fun too. But sometimes, very often, it's magical and it's a great experience.
It's not fun if you're on the train.
Well, it is true.
No, absolutely. And it's funny because that term magic is exactly what I was looking at, because I've been in attendance at a few of them. I have yet to get up and play. I guess once I did play piano at Riverside at one of the jams.
Oh.
But I really haven't gotten up and played bass or anything, but I've watched as that magic happens. And that's really the best word to describe it, because it's out of nowhere. You see these guys just kind of wander up, and all of a sudden this ball of magic just transpires. And like you said, even if you're not playing, it's a wonderful thing to experience. Albert, for you, what's your experience with jam nights?
Man, pretty minimal. We've dropped into a few different places. My past friend Walter, we ended up doing a jam thing over in Idaho at Sandpoint. I was at one in, New Orleans a few weeks ago and got to experience that a little bit. But listening to Mike Bills, I'd like to maybe try to show up and see if I can get on the stage. And,
you should. You were good.
Sometimes I am the train wreck. So,
you keep playing yourself down. You are a very good guitar player.
Well, thank you. So and then
I'll second that.
Yeah, well, thank you. And similar to what Mike Bill said, the music scene here is unbelievable compared to 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, you'd go out 3 or 4 years ago and there'd be 2 or 3 options. And now, any given night, there might be 10, 20, 30 options for music. And the quality of that music just gets better and better. They're bringing bands from out of the area, out of state. And it just, we just locally continue to try to pick our game up because we have to be able to compete with that.
You know, I have an opinion that I'm sure you both share, and that's that music is a gift to yourself that you will have for the rest of your life. And with that said, I'd like each of you to kind of just talk about your thoughts on having music available for young kids. Not necessarily to ram it down their throats, but to make it available and to expose kids to guitars and to pianos. I know that 30 years ago, 40 years, like the recorder, that's okay. It's a start, but expose kids to things. This is like anything else. Let them see it, let them touch it, because for a lot of kids that may have the aptitude for it, but don't ever have the opportunity to see what it feels like, they may go their whole life, or maybe not learn until their middle part of their life that they even like it. So talk about the importance of having it available in schools.
Yeah. Man, to me, I think it's critical. There are a few things that you can start young and take it to the end of your life, really. So to have that exposure, to give the kids the opportunity. Our youngest son was quite an accomplished violin player. Well, school educator Tara Abbott came to their class and played violin. And he says, I want to play violin. Our middle son was an accomplished piano player, same story. So exposing kids as much as you can and as early as you can, I think, is huge. It's like another language, right? You learn music is another foreign language, but it's one that you can work on forever. It's like golf, but not as frustrating. I'd certainly behind any of those programs and as much as we can get kids involved. And that's having the young lady we were talking a little bit earlier, had an 8-year-old girl come up and sing a song with Rookard Bridge over the weekend, and she killed it. She absolutely killed it. And one other thing Kelly and I do is we take inflatable guitars and microphones. So if there's a young kid that's kind of watching and interested, we will inflate one of them and let them have a choice, and they can use a mic to sing or use a guitar to play along. So encouraging kids is huge, and I'm glad you brought it up.
Mike?
That's great. Well, I think, Al, your story is a perfect example of that, where you were introduced to the guitar in a music class in middle school and how it changed your life. And I work in schools in Eastmont School District, and I see that all the time with how some students just really connect with music and take off. Others it's art, others it's math, but everybody has their thing, and music is definitely an important part of that. And it's...
My guests today have been Albert Rookard and Mike Bills. We've talked a little bit about their performances around the area. We'll take a quick look at some of those performances here for just a couple of moments, and we'll be right back. Check this out.
Not alone.
Outstanding stuff, guys. I want to thank you both for being here this morning, and we'll see you out there on stage somewhere.
Awesome.
Yeah, for
Good.
sure.
It's Al Rookard and Mike Bills joining us here this morning, and we'll be back with more. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The 2022 Grant County Fair in Moses Lake is bigger and better than ever. Washington's largest egg-based fair features hundreds of animals, amazing food, and the Davis Carnival rides. And if that isn't enough, see supergroup Lone Star and country standout Cameron Marlowe on the Brian Miller stage. Come celebrate a return to normalcy with Stars, Stripes, and Fair Delights at the 2022 Grant County Fair. For tickets and more info, visit grantcountyfairgrounds.com.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams real. When you work with a world-class agent at Coldwell Banker, you benefit from trusted guidance and our revolutionary seller's assurance program to make your home sale more rewarding than ever. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
Who are you talking to? I told you, knock it off!
End the cycle. Call SAGE, Safety, Advocacy, Growth, and Empowerment. Get private, anonymous counseling. Learn how SAGE can help you. Receive legal assistance and protection. SAGE also offers a safe place for you and your children. Of course, a hug from Hank always helps. SAGE can help you move on with your life. Call SAGE today.
Just a couple of minutes away from the top of the hour. It is Winning Wednesday, and what we're giving away this time, 2 VIP passes to the Ultimate Classic Rock Show on the Brian Miller stage at the Grant County Fair. You can enter by sending us an email, winner@ncwlife.com. Remember, 1 entry per email address, and employees and family of local telecommunications, solely on broadcasting, and their immediate families are not eligible to win. Let's take a quick look at what's happening weather-wise for you here. As we head toward the later part of the week, was going to be up to about 93 degrees today. Sunny and a bit of a breeze. We had some breeze yesterday. Actually, we had wind gusts up into the 30s. And still a little bit of wind expected throughout today, and that'll kind of help cut the heat a little bit. Tomorrow, right up to about 80 degrees. Then as we head towards the weekend, guess what? How about that 80-degree high, though, for Thursday? I mean, that's the kind of thing we've been looking forward to for days now. So we get to enjoy it tomorrow. Friday, it'll be 85. That's tolerable. But then we're going to start seeing those triple digits coming your way as we get through the later part of the weekend and the first part of next week. So be safe out there. Be careful. Make sure you wear sunscreen, but don't wear that one kind that they say has cancer in it, because that's a bad idea. I would not encourage that at all. And that's pretty close to going to do it for us here today. Don't forget, enter to win those VIP passes. And Dan Kuntz will not be back tomorrow. I am his able and willing stunt double for today, tomorrow, and likewise into Friday. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. See you later.